What happened? Not quite sure. Something was leaking profusely. But okay.
Our recovery course took an unexpected turn, and Pango had to be towed away. How different was the level of excitement 2 weeks earlier? My family came to visit, and together we had an unforgettable time.
Where are we? In Kirstenbos Botanical Gardens in Cape Town. On the canopy walk, or the boomslang.
Yeah.
It's the word for a tree snake, boomslang.
With the family.
Yes. So, where are we going now? And where have we been?
So we have been in Cape Town and Franschhoek. We just drove out of Franschhoek, and we are already on our way to the next destination, which is a quite remote farm somewhere in the Klein Karoo. And we're gonna do some groceries and I think arrive there first. And yes,
There's not really electricity or any signal, so we're gonna try and prepare for that. But it's just 2 nights. It's not too bad without the normal amenities that we used to, and that they are used to.
yeah.
So we're gonna see. But it will be, I think, what will be the best part is that because there are no lights in that area and it's so sparsely populated, that the stars at night are amazing. So that I think that they will enjoy that. So I hope that we can put up some chairs or mattresses on the ground and just lie there and look at the stars. I bought this yesterday, And it's a shirt that has been dyed with African dirt. And the cotton is also from Africa. So I thought it was a nice idea. And then, of course, it has a Land Rover Defender on it.
So a few more days of family holiday left.
Yeah.
2 nights on the remote farm in the area of the Klein Karoo and 3 nights in Langebaan. Then we drop them off at the airport in Cape Town. They fly back to Amsterdam. And what are we gonna do?
Then we're gonna work. We're gonna work. We wanna get this done and we wanna get out on the road. And then we'll also learn what needs to change. So we need to start.
Yeah, so we decided to focus on the most important things, which is building our cabinet and bench, get cushions for it. We do a 4x4 recovery course.
It's very necessary.
Yeah, we have to finish the electrical setup.
Yeah, it's been a good few days. I think we've seen a lot, we've done a lot. You think the Dutchies like it here?
Yeah.
That's why they came here 300 years ago? Is that why? Manu, are you impressed?
Okay, Carla found herself a little assistant this morning. Good morning.
Morning. Yes, we've started again. We're at it again. We had a holiday.
Yeah.
Yesterday the family left. And now we are back at it. So we are moving the tap to the left because it was installed directly over the hole, the only holes that can be used for the step. So now I've removed this. There's a whole desert in here and I'm trying to get that out, and then hopefully I can find a way with maybe a riv nut or something to use those holes, because it's quite difficult to get to the back there. And but I first need to get this uncoupled, and I don't know how. Again.
Don't we look amazing?
Stunning, as always.
Yes.
Huh?
Are you resting?
Yes. No, I just finished. We moved the tap. Now I'm just trying to protect the plastic line from the exhaust. So I'm trying to keep it there with cable ties. And we put up the step. So, looks good. I thought the old dash was going back.
Yeah, most of it. Most of it is going back. Some custom touches.
Some touches.
Touch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy with this?
Well,
Gonna squeak?
not yet. Not more than it already does.
So, what we did today was finalize connecting the DC to DC-DC charger to the starter battery. So I have a fuse on the positive line. So that comes underneath, from the DC to DC, it goes underneath to the outside of the vehicle and then into this seat box where I made my own grommets. There I will paste that to the metal, the seal, so I think that will seal quite good enough. And then there's a fuse in there. We connected the wire again, which auto electrician thought was nothing, so but that was the electricity for our Icarus rooftop conversion. So we have lights again. And what else?
The most important thing.
Oh, the lights. There's a light.
We have a light.
There's a light.
There's power.
And there's also the shunt is also connected to the starter battery. I'm going to see if that works to monitor the starter battery as well. So we have a smart shunt from Victron. It monitors the laser batteries and then also, hopefully, the starter battery.
I'm super proud of you. Cool.
I hope it works. But there's electricity at least. I don't know if it goes to the right thing. And then now I have to just neaten it up and start looking at the solar connection.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to organize our chaos. Because in the last weeks, months or so, we of course bought a lot of stuff to take with us for overlanding. But also all kinds of tools, plenty of stuff. So I'm trying to see what should we bring, where can we put everything. Of course, we have some ideas about it, but especially now we're very close to starting building our construction. It's more and more important to make sure that everything we want to fit in actually fits. So it really is coming together, we feel. So hopefully in a few weeks we can take off, at least for our first round in South Africa. That's the plan. Morning.
Good morning.
Tell us what you're doing.
I am seeing what we need for connecting the solar to the MPPT. We have two connections. We have one fixed panel on the roof and we have a foldable panel because actually hopefully we won't always stand in the sun. So then we can put the foldable panel somewhere outside of the camp or just outside of the shade, and then we can also charge our batteries. So it gives us some flexibility. Today, find some space for 2 circuit breakers. Find space for the Y connectors, for the MC4 connectors. So there's not a lot of space. We want to do it there by the left of the passenger side, on a right-hand side, right-hand drive vehicle. So we have like a little space like this. Let's see. It's again Tetris. This is all the spares at the moment. Lida ordered it all yesterday, she said. So we're trying to fit in 2 MC4 wire connectors, combiners in there with two circuit breakers. So you'll see it's quite long, all these things, and we're trying to fit it in there. What's your role today?
I'm demoted to assistant.
Happy.
I'm injured. That's why.
Oh, that's why. Yes, of course. Yes. But no, you have to help me, please. With
Nice. But please that you edit. Just in time. However, so friendly.
No.
But you brought me coffee, so.
Exactly. So thank you. I said please.
Almost there.
Almost there. It's not a pretty picture, but we have wires connected that will be connected to the foldable panel. The fixed panel wires are connected to the circuit breakers. Then from there we have the Y connectors to combine the 2 panels if necessary, or when both are active, and then that goes to the MPPT. But there's really no space here. I seem to overestimate it every time, and so yeah, it's forced in a bit. It's not great, and it's pushing everything every which way. So I think for now that's how it is. Hopefully we can make it a bit better later on. Okay, so everything's connected. Everything's here connected to the MPPT, and we flip the switch, and the light stays on. It's not flickering anymore. Something changed, at least. We don't know what. I think we're okay. Absorption. And then I'm assuming it's starting to charge now. I think I need to read the manual. It's not self-explanatory. But okay, everything is connected to give us power, to charge our batteries and give us power.
Yeah. So meanwhile, I have fabricated this. It's still work in progress, but it's gonna go over here in the dashboard. So we will have our charging ports here. Connected them in parallel. with these splitters, and now we are going to check if we connect this to our fuse panel, if we indeed have power. It was time for our 4x4 recovery course.
This sunny day in Melkbosstrand started with the basics, which was good since we didn't even know the basics. Changing a tire. First, get everything you need ready. Okay, take the compressor and the jack out of its original packaging. Read the instructions. Realize that, in contradiction to what you thought, you should not use an air jack for changing a wheel, judging yourself for your life choices and money spent. Okay, let's try it anyway to drive the point home. Just an hour and a half later, with great instructions and a lot of extra tips, just a little bit of mansplaining, the same tire was back in position. Check. Learn to use other more suited jacks safely. Check. Learning how to repair a tire on the most repaired tire ever. Check. Then we move on to the fun stuff. We learned to first walk our line and when possible have a spotter guiding you. The exercises included how to handle stalling on an incline, driving on a side slope and also cross-axle driving. But here Pango missed the spring in his step. The coil spring actually came out of its seating, so we'll have to either get some clamps or dislocation cones for that. We were lucky to have the additional instructors eager to use their muscles and tire irons around. We were now excited to go do some dune riding. Off to Atlantis we went.
Something was leaking profusely, and from the front of the engine bay. First it looked like coolant, so our coolant was also a red color and it was quite thin. Now I'm not really sure. It's could also be power steering fluid. It could be some of the gearbox fluid. So everything looks a bit wet there, but it's like really dripping at the front, so I'm not so sure. I think maybe power steering or coolant, but I'm not sure. It smells a bit like oil, but it's very thin. We were driving towards the last part of our 4x4 for the recovery course and in the dunes. So we couldn't go further with the course. And they had to come pick us up. Someone had to come pick us up and take Pango away. Yeah, so now someone else is going to pick us up to take us back home.
So we're lucky that it happened here, I think. Could have been on way more remote places, but yeah, it's kind of ironic that we had to be recovered during our recovery course, but then for real, like not just practicing. But yeah, hopefully it's not a major fix, but just a small one, and we have Pango back within an eye wink. Pango is now at the workshop, and we're waiting for them to get back to us to hear what's wrong and how long it will take. But we did decide to do a major checkup anyway. Carla's gonna go into the workshop again, so stay tuned if you want to see how that all goes. Hopefully, very soon, we can move on with our build. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy our videos, please like and subscribe. See you next time.
Hallo allemaal, welkom bij een nieuwe vlog. Hier, Pim en Anne op je beeldscherm, eindelijk. Ik weet dat jullie een tijdje hebben gewacht, maar we maakten niks boeiends mee. Hè? Maar drop vooral je comments als je tips hebt voor een nieuwe locatie. Ik ga jullie nu even lange baan laten zien, die strandloper. Hè? Ik ga even een rondje maken, Pim. Wil jij nog wat kwijt?
Nee, dat was het. Ik heb hier niks toe te voegen.
Pim is een beetje ziek.
Pim staat hier, dat wordt eerst. Ja.
Ja, maar Pim is een beetje ziek. Maar goed, wij willen ook gewoon de echte kant van het leven laten zien. Niet alleen de mooie kant, hè, Pim?
Vind ik mooi, ja.
Ja. Pim lag op bed
Ik vind
met
het ook goed om
diarree.
dit wel te delen met onze volgers.
Ja, precies. Nou, ik ga een rondje lopen. Blijf jij maar lekker aan het water. Ik zie je zo.